Hey, peace, love, and gunners. Today we're at Grey Fox Ranch, and we're going to be doing a little bit of this and that. I got a special treat for you guys. This is a Kukri made by Himalayan Imports. We're going to be doing some chopping with this. Just stay tuned. Hey, how's it going? I'm Alex with Peace, Love, and Guns, and if you like this content, then go ahead, click like, subscribe, get down with this shit, because it's getting real, alright? Now today I got a special treat for you guys. I want to show you guys the Himalayan Imports Khukri, okay? So, basically, this is a hammer-forged blade, okay? Out of a Mercedes truck spring, BMW truck spring, whatever have you. They prefer the German steel. And it's a differentially quenched blade. That means that the actual Rockwell hardness of the edge is a lot harder than that of the spine, giving you a lot more flexibility in the spine.
So it goes from harder to softer going back that way.
And it also gets thicker. This is not a thin blade by any stretch of the imagination.
Hold your thumb up against
it. It's definitely a thick old girl. When I saw these, I said, hey, those are good-looking blades, you know, but can they cut it, so to speak, you know? Can they literally cut it? You see a lot of mall ninja stuff that, you know, you take out and bang up against a tree, and then it comes out rattling loose into pieces. This one has been through a lot. It's cutting a lot of trees, plastic parts. I cut a lot of plastic parts at my work with some of the stuff that we do in order to process plastic parts. Anywho, so, but you have these beautiful grips made in kind of austere conditions. It's kind of made in third world conditions, and it's kind of an example of how something even made in those conditions can, in my opinion, be better than something that's factory made in a lot of cases, where someone just takes a laser jet or, you know, a water jet, cuts out billets and then heat treats them after grinding them. This thing right here has a lot more man hours in it. Out of you know, these villages in Nepal that produce maybe one a day with as many people and resources as they have working in little villages. These businesses, these villagers, this is a family tradition, and you can see there's marks, and they'll have family emblems and marks for their families producing it. And so yeah, overall it's just a great blade. This is supposed to be the 25-inch version. This is the Sirupati, I believe. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so, you know, no biggie there, but it's called the Sirupati, and if you look on Himalayan Imports, you'll be able to find it, you know.
Is that HimalayanImports.com?
Yes, Himalayan Imports. If you just
It
type
really is beautiful.
Type in the word Himalayan imports, and especially if you throw some oil on these grips, they really do stand out. They get dirt on them from me being out here, so they look a little bit dull and dim. But if you just rub it with some oil, it does bring out the luster. I had actually dropped this once, and the drop bent the brass up, and it fractured a little piece of wood out. But, you know, honestly, it gives it character, and it hasn't affected performance any, so there's that. And like I said, you do have that thickness all the way up to the tip. Some of their blades, they even say that you can use them as a pry bar, so that's saying something. This one comes with a warning, a recommendation that if you're not physically fit, not to buy it. And I'm probably not as physically fit as I should be right now in my life, but that being said, this blade is definitely capable in capable hands. I always tell people it swings like a machete, it handles like a machete, swings like a sword, and cuts like an axe. And it is kind of good at all those things. If Will Bet pans out, I can show you something. The blade shape, the way that it's angled, a lot of people probably look at that and they think that it's funny, but when you're actually cutting with it, it agrees with the body. And if anybody's familiar with Spyderco, the company Spyderco, the knife maker Ed Shimp is very fond of this angle, this Kukri design, because it agrees anatomically with the body when it's cutting. And the interesting part about this blade is with the curvature and where the weight is at in the blade, you can target different points of the blade for different cutting performance capabilities. You know, it's just something that's, I don't know, I ever since I bought this and started using it, I haven't been able to find something to replace it in terms of functionality, and it can do everything. It's kind of the Jeep of blades, if you will.
What I find interesting about the engraving is it's, for as coarse as it is, it's beautiful. I mean, it's got clearly it's hand worked, and then it's even got brass inlays for these. I mean, it almost looks like wheat or something. I'm not sure what they were intending on that looking like, but it's beautiful. It looks really cool. It's got an old world sort of look to it.
Mm-hmm. And guys, please don't take away from this that this is exactly, if you ordered one, this is exactly what you would be receiving. This is totally not the case. We had the Hurricane Harvey come by, and this was on the floorboard of my truck when my truck got flooded. So I had to walk 4 miles with this, you know, in its sheath and all my bags of gear. And the blade was saturated the whole time. Thankfully, I had it coated, lacquered up with Ballistol, so that saved me a lot of damage. But when you get these, they literally have a mirror polish, a sheen, if you will, like you're looking at a reflection on water. I mean, it's just gorgeous. They sit there and they take a buffing wheel that's made out of old clothes, and they just sit there and they, you know. And there's just, if you look at Himalayan Imports, their website has all kinds of history on this. So if you get excited, you're interested, and you start reading, you're going to end up buying one, because the history behind these things is so rich. The different tribes, if you will, and villages, and their different methods. You know, some of them do bloodletting ceremonies with chickens to christen the blade, and some of them that are the Buddhist will crack an egg on the blade. There's really interesting stuff behind how these blades are made and the culture that surrounds these blades. And I think that anybody that's interested in blades should just give a look at least. I think that you might, if you've never held a kukri, like I had never before purchasing this, I think that you'd be definitely not let down. You would be ecstatic. Like I said, absolutely functional. With kukris, a lot of people ask why that notch is there, and there's no real definitive answer. No one really knows why that's there. Some say that it's so when you're attacking, the blood runs down the blade. Will, could you hold that up like you're attacking, like this way? Thank you. So they say that it's so that the blood comes down the blade and trickles off this, and then it won't get on the end user's hand, and therefore preventing slip. So no one, I've never tested it. I don't know if that's a wives' tale. I've heard people say it is. However, there's also this idea that it's I believe it's the Indian goddess Krishnapa. Is it Krishnapa?
I don't know.
I forget.
Krishna?
Yeah,
No,
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah, I believe that's it.
I don't think so.
Something like that.
We'll look
But
it
she
up.
uses a trident. And so they believe that that shape is the shape of a trident. Another person has suggested that it's so you cut yourself if you slip up the blade. And that might be very true.
What I've heard is that people use it to, they would prick themselves with it before they go into battle.
Oh, yeah?
And it's like a little sacrifice or something. You gotta really trust in that belly, it seems like.
I'm a lumberjack, Dad.
Not the intended purpose of a kukri, but
So this is a patch knife, I guess, or a field utility knife. It comes along with, you can see mine's got rust in it from the water. I haven't had much of a chance to clean up on any of my stuff, but so they say that. Also, the it could be a patch knife. So if they're using muzzle loaders, they could cut patches with it. It's a little tiny field knife that comes with the kit. Also with the kit is a the sheath, that is a this is called a chakma, I believe, and so this is a sharpening steel, and you can see that the corners are slightly just like rounded just a little bit, but have these kind of not sharp edges, but just nice edges. And so this is hardened a lot harder than the actual blade steel is. So that's all it takes to actually.
Is it just for folding the edge over, or
Yeah.
is it actually
No,
sharpening?
it actually does straighten out the edge. So I can actually demonstrate this, but so I would just take it and I'd go like that. And you can hear the noise. You can actually hear the blade getting, you can hear the resistance, that scratching noise. And it's going to be hard to show you on camera, but if you're looking at the steel and you're looking at that edge, you'll actually see the serrations like starting to pop. They get roughed up and whatnot, and that's what you want. See, these guys that make the Kukris are called Kamis, I believe, spelled with a K, K-A-M-I. And I might not be pronouncing it right. Don't quote me on them. I'm not the end-all be-all expert in these things, but basically they forge these blades. They aren't going to waste time taking them to stone. It takes so much energy and time and resources, so they don't just take these to stone when they get dull. They sharpen them with steel, and that's just the way they do it. So, oh yeah, pops that edge. You heard me mention about Hurricane Harvey and the devastation that's caused with. So basically, you guys heard about Hurricane Harvey and the devastation that's caused within Texas. There's a lot of us that are fortunate and have our family together, and they're doing good and doing Texas strong and making us proud. And there are people that aren't as fortunate, whether it be loss of family members, whether it be loss of buildings, jobs. So if you could donate and support those people, find an outlet to donate. That's completely your call, but that would be really cool. And like I said, that'd be helping out those affected, and love your neighbor, more importantly, because at the end of the day, material possessions leave, but the one thing that we always keep is memories of our loved ones. So that's the important thing, is people, not possessions. Peace, love, and guns. If you like what you saw here today, okay, go ahead, click donate in our Patreon, and then we can be able to bring you more material, cooler stuff, and it's y'all. It's our supporters that help provide that. So if you guys want to see some really cool shit, just go ahead, click the link down below. Thanks for watching Peace, Love, and Guns. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And next time, stay tuned. We'll be shooting other stuff. Yeah.